Hello and welcome back to the Lilani Grace podcast. Today I have a very exciting guest on with me. She is the woman who got me started in this online business. She is a mom. She has done lash artistry. She's done coaching. She has rocked this online industry. Welcome, Laisa.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be here.
How are you doing this morning?
Good. Just regular mom life stuff. Got the kids out the door, actually fit in a shower, which sometimes doesn't happen in the morning when you have the children. But no,
Yep.
It's good. Things are good.
And big question. I don't know what time your mailman comes, but did you get mailbox money today?
He has not come yet. I have a view of the mailboxes from here. So I'm always like
Awesome.
window in my office. But no, but usually 11, 11:30, 12 is when he comes.
Yeah.
So nothing yet.
I have to wait until like 1 o'clock before my mailman comes.
Mine used to come at 1 or sometimes even like 3:30. And I was like, this is the worst.
Yeah, when you know it's coming, it's like, oh, I just want to get out there and get that mailbox money.
Totally. It's the best. It's very addicting for sure.
Totally. Okay, so let's back it up. So
Okay.
you were a single mom and you got into doing lashes. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Yeah. So I was a single mom. This was back I started doing lashes in 2019. My boyfriend at the time, now husband, actually encouraged me to take a lash course. So he actually ended up paying for it for me because I
Wow.
couldn't even afford to pay for the lash course at the time. Got into lashes about 2019. Actually, yes, it was, I think August 2019 was when I took the course. And yeah, it kind of, I would say I was going to say it exploded. It didn't really explode, but it definitely moved pretty fast. Yeah, it was super great. I loved lashes. I was always the reason I did it was because I wanted to be able to make more money for my family, for my kids, for me, or for my one kid at the time, and just feel a little bit more comfortable. And so I've always definitely been just like a money driven human. I really I just, it's not the sake of like having money. It's like the things that you can do with it, right?
The
We just have
security
so
it
many more
brings.
opportunities. Yeah, you can just help family if they need it, help friends, like just do experience life, like all the things, right? So, anyways, that was one of the big reasons I wanted to get into it. And yeah, I loved it. I'm a very detail oriented person. My ADHD fixation could be like that lash set at the time. So, yeah, that was kind of my experience with lashing. I lashed for about 4 years, I want to say. And then finally I was like, you know what? I feel like there's more out there. So, yeah.
And then you created a lash course to teach other people, correct?
Yeah. Yes. So about a year and a half into lashing, I believe I started creating lash courses because my brain, the way that I think, it's always like, okay, what's the next step, right? Like, what's the next thing I can do to grow? Obviously, doing lash training. So I was doing in person and online. And yeah, it was great. Like, I immediately was like, oh, I really like coaching people and teaching people and helping them step into that like next version of themselves. So that was a really fun time. I really do enjoy educating, and lashing really, like I said, the money is really great. So being able to help people create something for themselves where they can make more income to be able to support them and their families, like, just made me so happy. So
Yeah.
that was a fun like little phase of my life for sure.
That's one thing I love about you. You're always thinking about how you can help other people make money too. Fun fact, I actually purchased Laisa's lash course, her online course. I didn't even complete it though because of my back issues. And I was really sad about that because it seemed like a fun thing to do. But I know you've said this before, with lashing, you felt capped with your income.
Totally. Yeah. So with lashing, I mean, unless you want to see, well, like at some point, there's only so many people you can see in a day, realistically.
Yeah.
Even if you do work, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., like there's only so many clients you can fit in a day. So your income is capped in terms of how much you can work. For me, again, being a parent, you can't even work that much like anyways. Plus, it's hard on your wrist, your back, your neck, all of the things. So it really is a career that I personally feel like has an expiry date. And again, if you're fine with making X amount of money, then that's amazing. But for me, again, like how my brain works, I'm like, okay, how can I make more? How can I do more? And how can I make money without having to see clients all the time? For me, and I mean, I know a lot of lash artists, they've lashed for years and years and years, 10 plus years even, and they don't seem to tire of it. Even the thought of me going back and like lashing full time again, I'm like, like this, that doesn't feel fun for me at all.
Yeah.
So it wasn't my thing. But yeah, there's definitely a huge cap on your income because it's the amount of clients you can see in a day. That's how much money you're going to make. And that's unless you want to, again, keep taking extra clients, work early mornings, late nights. It's for sure.
And then there's also you're still trading your time for money.
Oh,
And when
absolutely.
you
That's
get sick or a kid gets sick, then you're canceling on clients, and then it becomes overwhelming sometimes.
There's no flexibility really at all. Even if you wanna take time off, I remember this. Where were we going? Were we going I think we were going I can't even remember. I had a trip and it was like, okay, you have to fit everybody in before you left. So
Yeah.
you're working until like 10 PM the night before you leave. And then you're gone. And then you come home and everyone's like, I need to fill, I need this, I need I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, first of all, it's just lashes. Like, we're gonna survive if we don't get our where I'm not a surgeon, like I do lashes, but also it's yeah, it feels you feel this pressure of not being able to take time off. And I think any kind of service-based industry is similar to that.
Mhm.
I mean, I think as a service provider, though, we also need to have better boundaries, being like, and actually be like, you know what, people will survive if I take time off.
Yeah.
Time for money. Yeah, it's hard to, it really is. Again, as a working parent, I feel like being a working parent, it can be so challenging because there's all these extra different factors that you have that someone maybe with kids wouldn't have. But yeah, if you're sick, if your kid is sick, if something happens, if even a client needs to reschedule or doesn't show up, like that's $150 to $200 potentially. That is all of a sudden just you're like, oh, I guess I'm not making that today.
Yeah.
So that can feel for sure stressful.
Yeah, especially as a single parent, like, I know when I miss out on money, that becomes huge.
Yeah, totally.
So, you went from doing lashes to teaching lashes, and then you kinda moved into the online business coaching space.
Yeah. So my plan when I first moved into the online space, it was actually to build out my online lash course. And I really wanted to like push it out. So I started working with a coach. I jumped into a mastermind. Oh, when was this? I don't even know. 2022, maybe? Are we 2026? Are we 2026? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
For 2023, I jumped into a mastermind. It was like my first time. And I remember, again, I was so scared. It was so expensive. But and my plan was I wanted to promote my online lash course. And then, as we do, we have all these ideas and thoughts, and we're like, okay, maybe that's actually not the route I want to go. So I ended up deciding instead of actually teaching people to start doing lashes, I wanted to start coaching people who were already in the beauty industry how to scale their businesses. Because I knew I was going to get at clients. I knew I was great at content. I knew I was good at, marketing and talking to people and attracting a community of people, which is really important with any kind of business. So because my experience was in the beauty industry, I was like, okay, I think that's what I'm going to focus on. So, yeah, I went through a couple different coaching programs, learned a ton, but even so, it wasn't taking off how I wanted it to. And I was doing all the things. I was
Yeah.
showing up daily, sometimes posting 3 times a day. Like I went through one of those phases where
Your
it's like
content was insane.
it was constant, right? And I have
Constant.
no problem with hard work and like banging out content and doing all the things.
Mhm.
But it becomes at some point you have to just be like, okay, like what's not working here and like
Yeah.
what is the reasoning and what is going on? And I don't know if this is like appropriate to say about the beauty industry, but because I come from there, I'm going to say it anyways. I just feel like a lot of people in the beauty industry have a really hard time investing big into themselves.
Oh, totally.
Me, I didn't want to be selling myself short, I guess. I didn't want to be selling programs or like ebooks for, $20, $30. I felt like that wasn't the best like use of my time.
Mhm.
I wanted to be selling coaching packages that were, expensive and worth my knowledge and time and all of that stuff. And yeah, there was some successful times there. Like I think my highest month was $35,000, but that was sales in total.
Mhm.
So something that this is kind of like a sidebar. Something that people don't realize is like cash versus sales is a lot different. So if I'm
Yeah.
making a $35,000 sales month, that might only be like a $2,000 in cash, actually. They might be paying for like a year total. And so you're actually only collecting, 2000 out of whatever that total is. So
Mhm.
I mean, I would say I probably made max $10,000 cash months, which is still fantastic.
Yeah.
But my goal for like a year and a half was like $30,000 cash. That's what I wanted to be able to make. I kept seeing people in the online space making all these big numbers, and I'm like, "Hey, that's what my goal is." So, anyways, worked and worked and worked at that. And there was a lot of days where I would just like cry and be like, why is this not happening? Like, I am doing all the things. You can't tell me I'm not doing all the things.
Yeah.
I'm a very self-aware person. I'm always looking at myself being like, "Hey, what am I doing? What am I not doing? What am I missing? Am I doing something like that I should maybe hire out for that someone else can do better than me? Do I need to learn from a certain person?" And it almost became like information overload because I would hire this person and then this person, listen to this podcast, read this book, try and do hypnotherapy or like some trauma work, like all of the things that I was like, something I need to fix something in me. And then I will be able to like have that success. Like that's how I felt. And then this opportunity got introduced to me. And it's like, I never needed to fix anything. And yes, of course, we always have things that we need to work on and grow into. And, for sure. And I was doing all that. And so, and it wasn't happening in everything else I was doing. But then this opportunity was presented to me. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it was just the vehicle. Maybe I was just focusing on the wrong thing. But then, ultimately everything I focused on then brought me here. And like, this is what we're doing. So even though it didn't, pan out, it didn't turn out the way that I hoped it would, it did lead me here.
Mhm.
And like, I wouldn't change a thing.
Plus, you probably learned so much from doing all that that you've been able to bring into this business now as
Yeah,
well. So, did you
exactly.
ever reach a point of like just like overwhelm and like frustration with what you were doing? And that's like kind of what pushed you into this. So, how did you find out about this online business?
Yeah. So I'll answer your first question. So I remember like this was just a specific memory I have. My husband picked me up for lunch. This was probably like a year and a half ago. And I just remember he picked me up and I started like crying in the truck. Because I was like, I am paying the coach that I was working with at the time. It was like $2,400 a month. Like I
Wow.
went on a mastermind that it was like $8,000 just for the mastermind. And
Mm-hmm.
like all of these things, right? And I was like, why am I like what is missing? And I just remember crying and being so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wasn't, yeah. So, anyways, I had lots and lots of moments. The biggest thing though is like, it's just part of business, I feel. And you just have to be willing to like have those moments, feel the feelings, and then like move through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't, if you let it consume you, or you're
You're
F
done.
screwed.
Yeah.
That was one of the big things. Coral is a girlfriend of mine, how I got introduced to this. So Coral is a girlfriend of mine in Vernon. We've known each other for, oh my gosh, I don't know, 10 plus years probably. And I saw her posting about, well, she was one of those people posting. She was driving in her car holding this big like stack of hundreds. And I was like, this feels weird, but like kind of cool. Like, where'd you get all this money? Like, what are you doing? Well, I don't know if that was the one that I messaged her. I think she had posted something before and I just was like, okay. And then I think she posted the one of her holding a bunch of money. And I was like, send me the details,
It's like
please.
ding, ding, ding. I want that.
Let me know what's going on here. Like,
Yeah.
legal, I'm assuming, because we're on Instagram, but like, I don't know, whatever. So she asked me to get on a call. I was one of those people that were like, can you give me some like information before? Because I hate Zoom
Mm-hmm.
calls. I actually, people don't like know this about me, but public speaking, podcasts, like Zoom calls, I get like major anxiety. I hate them. So, anyways, even just with a friend, I'm like, I don't really want to do that. But she was like, okay, it's kind of like health like related. Like, I think you'd be great at it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So get on the call. It was like 2 hours long. Like she
Oh,
was
really?
chat, yeah, like, well, for maybe not 2 hours, but for sure an hour. Like, it was
Yeah.
long. But, like, and it's also with a friend too, so you're kinda catching up and, like,
Mm-hmm.
just whatever, whatever. So, she explained it to me. I was very confused. I'm like, "Okay, well, it sounds cool, but I really have no idea, and I gotta talk to my husband about it."
Mm-hmm.
So, I went to the gym after his gym, and I was like, "So" I, like, was talking to my girlfriend about this thing, and I was trying to explain it to him, and he was like, "This makes absolutely no sense." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." So then we got on another call with her. He still wasn't sold. And then this was all in like a 2-week time span. And then I got my income tax bill. So it was like literally May of last year. I got my income tax bill and I was like, how am I going to pay my freaking taxes? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I literally have no money in savings. My credit cards are maxed. I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Like this, I don't know what to do. My GST hadn't been paid for like 2 years. Like there was just so much that I was like, I can feel the water rising and I am sick of it. And again, it's not like I wasn't busting my freaking butt to make things
Yeah.
happen, right? It would be different if it was like, well, just like try this business and then I'll just like sit back and wait for people to come to me. Like I was working really hard. So Scott was like, okay, yeah, I trust you. Like whatever, just do your thing. So bless his soul. He definitely, I mean, he's also an entrepreneur. So he just kind
Yeah.
of gets it. And he also sees how hard I was working before. So he
Mm-hmm.
knew whatever I was going to do, I was gonna like put my all into it. So that was helpful. Because I was like, hey, I'm gonna do it. And so that's basically how that started, and that's how I was introduced to the opportunity.
That's awesome. So you joined up and you just hit the ground running.
I did, yeah, I joined May 15th. I posted a little slide on my stories just saying, "Okay, guys, doing something really random. Oh, it's not beauty related at all, completely different. The average person on our team is making X amount of money a month. It's 95% done for you. If you want more info," like, I straight up just said, like, "Obviously, I'm just getting started. I have no results to share with you yet, but if you want info, just let me know." And I really encourage people because I feel like a big holdup for people in this business is waiting till they have results in order to start sharing. But it's like we can just share what we're doing without any results. Like
Mhm.
I really encourage people to take your audience, take your community on the journey with you instead of showing up at the end with these big shiny things, right? Because when we show up and like, oh, I've made like X amount of money, people are like, cool, but like that could never be me. Whereas if you're like, literally bring them along with you every single day, being like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm trying, this is what I'm blah, blah, this is what I've just started. People are a little bit more inclined because they understand like kind of what's going on. They see the day to day. So, anyways, I posted a little story sequence, not even a little story slide, some text, and just started booking people on calls. And yeah, the first month was really slow. I was like, well, we booked a lot of calls, but there was not a lot of yeses. There was like
Yeah.
no yeses. And I remember thinking like, was this a bad idea? But I was like, whatever, no. Like it's just like any other business, right?
Yeah.
You gotta give it freaking time. Like we have all the ingredients, you put it in the oven. You can't be opening the oven every 5 minutes, checking to see if it's done, right? You gotta put it in there and trust the process, wait for it to be done. So, yeah, kept booking calls. Eventually, I can't remember if my dad was the first person I signed on or the second, but Robin was one of the first, and then my dad. And after that, it just started kind of flowing in from there. And it's just been crazy ever since. So, definitely a solid 4 or 5 weeks of like booking calls, talking to people, showing up, but being a little bit nervous about like, okay, what's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
also committed, just being like, hey, well, we're gonna make this happen.
Yep. And that was so inspiring to me too. I remember seeing your very first slide about this. I was like, that seems odd. Like, this is not Laisa content. But then I kept watching. I was like, this is interesting. I think it took me a couple of weeks of watching you before I started asking questions.
Yeah.
And then I jumped on a call with you and Alana. And I think our conversation was at least an hour as well. Like, I asked all the questions.
Yeah, it was long. Yeah.
Yeah. And seeing you being so successful in it, I was like, okay, this is really cool. Like, if she can do it, I can do it. But then my financing fell through. So I was like, okay, well, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I'm moving on. But I just kept watching you and kept watching you. I was like, I was so drawn to this idea and what you were doing. And it was just like, I have to be a part of this. Like,
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
me in. So I'm so thankful that I was finally able to get in.
Yeah, I know, me too. I know it's so hard to watch. It's definitely one of those hard things where the financing does like catch up a lot of people, and
Hmm.
yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I wish everybody could it would be easy for everyone to get into. But that's okay. We figured it out for you,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's great.
So it took a couple of weeks for you to get your first people going. And then, like, what was kind of did you have like a moment where you saw it like take off and you're like, oh, yes, this is finally it?
I don't know if I would say a moment. I just remember because me and Alana worked super closely together because she was
Hmm.
doing my calls and just helping me with everything. And I just remember sending her like all the people signing on. I would send her their info. She would send it to our upline. They would do all the paperwork, etc. So it was just a constant flow of it was actually quite a lot going on because we obviously chat with everybody in the DMs after the calls. So we had so many DM conversations going and she was really helping me manage that, which was amazing. I could not have done it without her. And then yeah, just closing people, getting them signed on, getting them onboarded, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if there was like an actual moment where I was like, wow, this is it. Because it was just so fast and it just kept like happening. I'm trying to think. I think once I like just logging into my back end and seeing the numbers, like even now, I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy. And hitting 6A and then a month later, I ranked up to 6A2. Like, it's
That's
just
insane.
really, it's happened so fast that it kind of feels like a huge blur, but I'm really trying to like appreciate and live in like the feeling of that success, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So it's been what, 7 months now?
Yeah, I think it was 7.5. I think it's almost 8.5 because May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. Yeah, so January 15th will be 8 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, with you constantly being like self-evaluating and like constantly learning new things about yourself and constantly working on yourself, what's the biggest thing that you've learned since starting this business specifically?
Yeah, that's a good question. One of the biggest things, especially recently, I would say the last like 3 months, is like I can't do it all. And I actually don't want to do it all.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I feel like, well, I've never really said this, but people on the team have said that I'm like the face of the team. And like I love
Mhm.
that. I actually do love that. Like I love the recognition. It's just part of me. I can't help it. But also, I'm like, okay, I actually cannot be the go to person for 300 people. And because I am very much a person that wants to, like, support everyone and literally
Mhm.
wants to handhold and make sure everyone's feeling supported and has everything they need, and that's too much for one person to do.
Totally.
So, yeah, I have learned really to delegate and to outsource. Something I'm really working on, though, still that something that I'm learning and working on is even though I have delegated and I have given other people tasks and responsibilities, is not interjecting because I feel like I want it done a certain way or
Mm.
faster. Like, I've actually had to, like, stop myself when I'm, like, typing out answers or do something and be like, "No, this is enabling." Like, they're good. They can handle it. They can learn through it because if I do that, I'm again just making it seem like I will be the fixer. I will be the
Yeah.
go-to. So, that's probably one of the biggest things. I've always known that I've wanted to have a big team. I never thought this was gonna be the way that it would happen,
Mhm.
but I love it. And then I definitely also think, I find myself feeling very responsible for other people's success,
Oh, totally.
and that is something that I'm really actively learning to just to not really like
Mhm.
to let that go. I feel like I do feel like I am really good at helping people learn and providing resources and trainings, and essentially with this business, like we have everything that you could ever
Mhm.
need, and then empowering them again, still supporting and teaching, but in a way that allows them to step into their own success and create their own success instead of me feeling like I need to almost like not micromanage, but like be responsible essentially for them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. That's one thing I really do love about this business and this team specifically is that there are so many resources for us. Like Andrew and Azaria have done a great job of setting things up underneath them. And
Yeah.
then you have created this team of your own that's just taken off. And there's so many talented people within that group. Like we have people running calls, we have people doing paperwork, we have people like it's amazing because you can get on this team, find what you're good at, and kind of just attack there
Yeah.
and know that the other stuff is being taken care of.
Absolutely. Like it literally is 95% done for you. And I always
Mhm.
well, like if you want to step up and do more, if you want to host calls, if you want to do whatever else, like make a training, like you absolutely can. There's no requirements. But yeah, it really is like it's almost too simple sounding that I feel like
Right?
people there's no way. But
Yeah.
it's like there is. Like this is
Yeah.
what it is. Yeah.
I mean, really, when you join the team, the only thing you're really responsible for is bringing
Content.
people like,
All. Yeah.
yeah.
And even if you don't wanna make content, you can have those, like, in-person conversations or whatever
Mhm.
you do, but essentially, yeah, it's just, like, sharing the opportunity, and that's really it. We help you with everything else.
Yeah, it's cool because I know we have people on the team that do like home shows. We have people that are just talking like word of mouth. Some
Yeah,
people aren't even doing content at all. But then
yeah,
you get into the girls that are like really good content creators like yourself. And we have some like really funny people that just do funny content and they're bringing in people that way. Like
totally.
it's such a diverse business.
Yeah, which I love. I think it's like I was actually thinking about that today. Why was I thinking about this? I was probably about content, honestly, because that's all I think about, but,
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's just how my brain works, but
Mm-hmm.
literally, it's like find what you're good at and what you enjoy doing, and then like create your business that way, like
Yeah.
from that like realm, right? If it is funny content, amazing. You're gonna get tons of eyes on you because everyone loves funny content, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
something else, like tackle it that way. You don't have to present it in any way that like feels unaligned for you because
Yes.
well, it's not gonna land. Second of all, you just don't have to. So there's no need to force it.
Yeah, what I love is that this team pushes authenticity. Like, be
Oh, yeah.
yourself, and there's more than one way to get business. Like,
Yeah,
yes, we're
absolutely.
all in the same business, but it's also like we're running completely different businesses because we all
Yeah,
attack it a different way. And that's really why I felt inspired to do a podcast. Because, yes, on Instagram, you can tell a little bit of your story, but I felt like there was a piece missing where, like, okay, we need something long form where we can really dig into people's stories
yeah.
because, like, that's most fun part in my opinion is actually hearing how people got to where they are and digging into their stories. And so I was just so excited to have a reason to start a podcast because I wanted to do this for so long.
Yeah, I love that you did that, and I do thought the part is so crucial to growing a community and a team, and I feel like for some people, it's a hard thing to grasp, which is so interesting to me because I feel like we're all so authentic to ourselves, like, in
Hmm.
general, that's how we are as human beings, and then bringing that to like a public space like Instagram can
Hmm.
be challenging for people. And so I love being able to like coach people through that and just encourage them literally to just show up and be yourself, say what it is you want to
Yeah.
say. Don't be afraid to like rattle some people. Don't be afraid to like, shake things up a little bit because it's going to help you find your people
Hmm.
and it's going to essentially repel the people that are not your people because we wouldn't probably want to partner with those people in business anyways,
Yeah.
right? Like it's really important and I really love that there are so many, I mean, all of us are so different. We all resonate with different people. And so I think also as a sidebar, our team with having so many different personalities, we have such good team morale, we have such good like vibes. And I'm really proud of how everybody like holds themselves to this like high standard of
Yes.
wanting so many great things for themselves and everybody else. And yeah, it's just super great. But yes, I just love the different styles of like life and personality that everybody bring to our team.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're actually pretty picky about who you bring onto the team, aren't you?
Picky in terms of like who you are as a person because I just yeah, the wrong kind of person, and when I say wrong person, I just mean like woe is me, like everything is, nothing ever works out for me. Things are
Hmm.
hard. I'm poor and I can't do this. It's like, well, you can be like financially broke but still have like an abundance mindset, right? So it's
Yes.
like it just if you and it's so hard because the negativity really spreads so quickly.
Oh, totally.
So, I really try, at least for me personally, bring people on, really try to vet the people that we bring in pretty closely because, yeah, business is hard. Like, it's
Yeah.
not some, sunshine and rainbows thing that is making money all the time and being fun all the time. Even this morning, honestly, I had a moment and I was like, oh man, like I'm just, sometimes your just emotions are emotioning and like we're human and that
Hmm.
happens. You have to lead yourself through it. You
Yeah.
don't come to the group chat and spew all your negative energy and then leave, right? Like that's not the kind of people we want. And
Yeah.
so I try and get to know people before they join just at least as much as I can. It can be hard, of course, because with the online space, sometimes you just never really know what you're getting. But at least, like, how do you lead yourself through conflict? Like, how do you lead yourself through stress? Like, how do you handle things? How, like, I think
Hmm.
those things are really important. So I do try and be relatively picky in terms of who's joining our team. And I do encourage people on the team to be the same, right? We
Yeah.
wouldn't want to partner with anybody. Essentially, we're partnering with these people in business for life.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that, like, yeah, we are
We
vibing.
actually get to pick our coworkers, which is really cool. And like you said, this is a long-term thing. Like this isn't just okay, we're going to do this for a year, make a bunch of money and peace out.
Yeah.
Like this is long term.
Yeah.
And
We're in for the
that's
long
the
haul.
mindset I've had to put myself into because it is
Mhm.
slow in the beginning. Like I've had a couple people on calls. I haven't had any yeses yet,
Yeah.
but I know that long term, like I want to get that bonus that this company brings us and pays us for life. Like that's
Totally.
the
We're
goal,
all
right?
people always watching, even if they say no. I had people my very first call I had with Alana and this other gal, it was really bad. Like she
Like,
was low key, like very rude. And Alana Like, I didn't know Alana, she didn't know me, and it was,
Yeah.
like, super awkward on the call. We didn't even get through the whole thing because the girl was, like, shut
Oh.
like, just, like, it didn't happen. And then after, Alana, like, texted me and she's like, "I promise you they never that's the worst I ever had. They never go like that, I promise." And I was like I go upstairs to Scott. I was like, I have to quit. Like, I
Oh,
must."
no.
And so it was so bad. I had so much anxiety. It was terrible. But obviously I did not I'm not actually quitting. But still, I was like, wow, that was really like if that's what I have to prepare myself for, good to know. But
Yeah.
like anyway, she ended up joining the team like 4 months later
Oh,
and
wow.
profusely apologizing to me. And
Aw.
I was like, okay, fine. No, it was all good. But like, yeah, she came around because she saw the potential and she
Yeah.
just it just goes to show, like, even if it's something we feel like it's totally different, like it doesn't seem like anything we ever would have done before, like just hear it out. Just hear it out. And
Mhm.
obviously, like we have proof that it freaking works, right? Like
Yeah.
so much proof. And it's not just one person, there's tons of people. Everyone's making money, right? I don't really know what more proof people could need. I'm like, why are
Right?
you guys not joining? Like, what's going on
I
here?
know. Well, now that we're in it, it's like, how could you not be in
I
it? Like,
It's
it's
very bizarre to me. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So, what's one piece of advice that you would give to someone just starting in this business?
Ooh, okay. Just starting. So I would say yes. Start to build your community of people on your social media platform, whatever that is. I know you can do this without socials. I also know you could do this faceless. Sorry, I'm probably gonna give you a few pieces of advice here. Like I'll bundle it into one. I do encourage people to just start showing up and popping on their stories. I know it feels awkward at first, trust me, I do. But just start sharing bits and pieces about you in a way that is literally not selling anything. Talk about your morning routine or talk about, I don't know, whatever. It could be like spicy and controversial. It doesn't have to be. Wake up in the morning and say, what do I want to talk about today? Like, is there anything on my heart? Is there anything that's like driving me a little bit crazy that I just want to like share? And I really encourage you to start sharing those thoughts because what it's going to do again is it's going to start creating connection points with people that you already have in your audience.
Mhm.
It's going to start kind of forming, yeah, those connections. And then it's also going to start getting you some unfollows, which is okay
Yeah.
because we're going to unfollow you because you're
We don't
sure
want those people here.
we don't want them as friends, as followers, as nothing, right? So we're
Yeah.
going to get people out of there and really focus on on just like connecting and building a community and not from a place of trying to make a sale or even sign a team member, like
Mhm.
genuinely just trying to build connection. Because if we don't have connection, we do not have trust. And if we do not have trust, we will never make sales.
Yeah.
So we have to do those things in order to be able to grow our team and make sales and all that stuff. The sales will come, but it will never come if people don't trust you or feel like they know you or connect with you. So
Mhm.
number one, I think. Um, and then sidebar as this is like happening, just again, like being patient. I always try and act as if every single day is going to be the day my life changes. Like that
Yes.
the day that I'm going to sign on that person that changes everything, right?
Oh,
That
I love that.
signs on, right? So I act every day
Mm.
if today is the day and I show up like that. I make content like that. I post from that energy every single day. And then if it doesn't happen today, well, it's going to happen tomorrow. And if it doesn't
Yes.
tomorrow, it's going to be the next day, right? And so it's
I love that.
yeah, so attack every day from that attitude. It's like this mix of like you got to be patient, but also like you have to have urgency. Like
Mhm.
it's pretty hard, you know what I mean? Like it's a very kind of weird balance there. And yeah, just don't get discouraged. Don't allow yourself to get discouraged. Don't allow yourself to doubt yourself. Like if you want to make this happen, it's going to happen.
Mhm.
I like little
I want to go back to the creating authentic content
yeah.
to draw your people and the controversy thing.
Mm,
So, I actually built a lot of my online following during COVID
uh-huh.
because
Same.
I spoke up about I didn't like the COVID thing. And that's actually how I connected with you. I think I actually had started
Yeah.
following your husband and then following you. And yeah, like say the controversial thing. Like if
Same.
you have strong beliefs about something, talk about it because your people will find you.
They
Like
will.
I know I lost a lot of people during that time, but I gained like
You're like-minded
hundreds.
people, right? It's your like
Yeah.
people that then are like, "Oh, same." Like,
Yeah.
what a
And
refreshing.
that starts conversations
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like if you say the
Yeah.
controversial thing, people will DM you about it.
Yeah.
They might
And
fight you about it, but they might be on the same page as you too.
that's true, yeah. And it allows you to get to know people on a deeper level. Like, I think
Mhm.
so tired of like the surface level conversations and connection. Whereas like, when we talk about this controversial stuff, and it doesn't need to be from a point of like, I'm right, you're wrong. It's like, no,
Mhm.
you're stating an opinion and a
Yep.
belief, and it could be a strong one. But yeah, I was the same thing, like COVID, the vaccine, like a lot of things, right? And again, I always said, like, you do you, but
Yeah.
I don't want to be forced into something that I don't want to do, right?
Yeah,
And
I'm gonna speak up for
crazy because
myself.
to me, that doesn't even seem like it should be controversial.
I know.
I was like, "Oh, okay. You guys don't like that? Okay." But anyways, yeah, I agree, and I love that I remember that during COVID, and then also there was a couple other things I feel like I'd seen you had post about as well, that were I can't remember what the topics are, but anyways, whenever I see any sort of, like, someone like, just not even standing up for themselves, but just, like, stating an opinion on
Mhm.
something that's kind of like a yeah, like a hot topic in the world, I'm always like, "Yes."
Well, what I've been focusing on lately is bringing God into the conversation
Okay.
because those are the people that I want.
Yeah, I love
Like,
that.
and I posted about Charlie Kirk getting assassinated.
Yep.
That was a hot one.
Yeah.
And again, I found more people. I keep finding my people by stating the things that I have strong opinions on.
Yeah.
So I knew going into this business, I was like, okay, I want this to be a God centered business.
Yeah.
So that's the content I'm going to have to share to get those people in my corner. So that's been a really big focus of mine. And it's getting the people I want.
Well, exactly, right? Again, like we keep saying, it'll repel the people who are not who you want to partner with, and it'll
Hmm.
bring people in. Shoot, I was gonna say something on that, and then I lost my train of thought. But yeah, no, I'm sorry, it's gone.
And that's not to say that like I exclusively want Christian people on my team either. Like I accept everyone, but I
Yes,
also I also want to have those people in my corner too.
yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I think it's very healing, actually, to speak your truth and
Hmm.
to say the things you actually want to say and not be afraid of like what other people are going to think or say or how they're going to react. Because first of all, it's not your responsibility, and second of all, for all the times like I know for me, like I hold my tongue a lot when it comes to sometimes family, sometimes friends, and like that is actually really not healthy at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm learning that like it's actually very healing to like your inner child into who you are even now as an adult, to show up and like speak your truth
Hmm.
instead of like tiptoeing around everyone and being like, "Oh, I love
Yes.
everyone. Everything's great." I'm like, "Is it though?" Like, I don't believe I don't trust that at all. So I want it. I love the just speak your truth. And again, it doesn't need to be like a rude way,
Yeah.
but yeah, it'll help you find your people. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we have hit almost the 45-minute mark, so we're going to wrap things up. Where
Okay.
can people find you online?
Mostly Instagram, dot studio LV is where I am. TikTok at studio.lv. I believe I'm on Threads as well.
Yes, I've been seeing you come up on Threads. I get notifications when you post.
Do you? That's hilarious. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I don't know anything about Threads. I just
yeah. It's honestly, if you ever feel like making content, but not actually showing up, like, cause it's
Mhm.
just thoughts. It's just like,
Yeah.
whatever. So sometimes it's nice when you're like, oh, I want to make content, but I won't need it to be super low lift. Like, I don't want to make a story sequence or I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. You can just take your words and put them in there. So it's good. But yeah, mostly Instagram at the dot studio LV is where you can find me. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you guys are interested in hearing more about this business, you can obviously reach out to Laisa or myself. And I would really appreciate it if you followed this podcast and rated it, maybe leave a comment, and we will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me, Laisa.
Thank you. Bye.